Hello and welcome back to Yoga with Elizabeth. Here's a question for you. How does your back feel today? Is it a bit twingy? Few aches and pains going on? Not moving as smoothly as you would like to? Well, today's practice is all about the back. As we get older, the body does tend to wear out a little bit, and we may not move as smoothly as we once did. In today's practice, we won't be moving too quickly from one pose to another. There won't be the getting up from the down position and vice versa. So if this sounds like something that you would benefit from today, roll out your mat and let's get started. We are going to start today's practice on all fours. So if we stack our wrists underneath our shoulders and our knees underneath the hips, keeping the gaze down towards the floor. Paying careful attention to how your back feels. So we don't want to move too wildly through our cat-cow. But as we take a breath in, we may be able to lift the tailbone to the ceiling as we draw the shoulders back and down, keeping some control through our core. And as we exhale, beginning that movement from the tailbone, tucking it under as we take the chin to the chest. Rolling through the spine, always listening to the body, as that will be our guide to tell us if we are moving in a way that serves us or in a way that is really not helpful to us today. Maybe even moving the hips from side to side, making any movements that feels good in your back. From here, we're going to extend our left leg out behind us, just pushing the heel away to get that lovely stretch down through our calf. And then from here, lifting that leg up to hip height, keep the toes facing down towards the earth as we extend our right arm forward, drawing that belly in, always keeping that tightness, that control within our center, which can help protect our back as we return the right hand and that left knee down towards the earth. Take a moment here, maybe even rolling yourself once more through your cat-cow, before finding that posture on the opposite side. Right foot comes out behind us. Push the heel away, so keep the toes attached to the floor to begin with. As we inhale, we take that right leg up to hip height, toes facing down, and you might find the strength to extend our left arm in front of us. Returning left hand and right knee back to the floor. Touching the toes together here as we take the knees wide on the mat and just gently push the bottom back towards the heels. Again, dropping the head, dropping the chin to the chest. In this variation of extended child's pose, you might be happy to stay on the hands, or you might want to bring the forearms to the floor. You may even want to walk your arms out in front of you. It's a very personal thing. If you do suffer with pain in your back related to a disc, sometimes forward folding is not the best thing for you, but every back is different and every discomfort is different. So please work with where you are today. From this child's pose posture, we're going to bring ourselves back up onto our hands and our knees, tucking our toes underneath us. And then from here, just hovering the knees about 6 inches or so off the floor. So a little bit of strength, really pulling the belly button in. So we're finding a strong core to support our back. And then from here, continue to lift the hips as we find our downward facing dog. As deep a bend as you need to in the knees here. And again, it might feel nice to walk out the feet, finding that length in the spine. Stay here for a moment or two. Let that head feel beautifully heavy. Such a nice stretch down through the arms, length through the spine, length through the back of the legs. And then from here, slowly walking yourself towards the top of the mat, or towards your hands, I should say. Okay, so from here, keep that bend in the knees. Now we can either hold onto the opposite elbows, or
You can use your hands on your legs, rounding your spine, and just relax your upper body as much as you can. Sometimes if you just let yourself dangle, that does impact the back a little bit. So just play around with this position, this ragdoll, either fingertips to the floor, hands on the legs, holding onto the opposite elbows, before slowly rolling yourself up to a standing position on your mat. No sun salutations today, just smooth movements from one pose to another, taking our time in each posture just to notice how our body is feeling. If we work our way to the top of the mat, plant those feet underneath the hips in our mountain pose. Roll the shoulders back and down. Close the eyes for a second here as you pull the belly in. You stand tall through your torso and you can feel your feet rooting down towards the earth. You might feel if you have a weakness in one part of your body that you want to build strength in other parts to compensate for that. Even standing in mountain pose, you can feel strong. You can feel those feet rooting down to the earth. You can feel the strength as we draw it up through the legs. So if you have your eyes closed, let's open the eyes and bring our hands towards the heart, bringing the weight into our right foot. We're just going to lift the left knee, leveling off the hips, standing very tall and strong through that right leg. And we're just going to, with control, drop our left foot behind us into a warrior one position. So the right knee is bent over our right ankle, and that left foot turns in a little bit behind us, about 45 degrees. Roll the shoulders back and down. We're just going to open out our arms here, opening out through the chest, squeezing the shoulder blades together behind us, standing strong in our warrior. And again, just staying here for a breath or two so you can notice how your body feels from the soles of your feet, through the legs, through the torso, to the arms, across the shoulders and to the crown of the head. From our warrior one position, we will shift the arms and shift the feet and come into warrior two. So you might want to dance the old feet around, maybe taking a wider stance between the feet, keeping that right knee out towards the small toe, and again feeling strong through the arms as we reach the fingers forwards and backwards. Taking a quick look behind us to see what that arm is doing. From our warrior two, dropping our left hand down the back of our left leg as we turn the right palm face up, reach up towards the ceiling and behind us, keeping that bend in our right knee. Keep pushing into both feet, and as we breathe out, we sail the arms back through our warrior two. Turn on that back foot if we can, bring the hands back towards the heart. And if you have the energy, we're going to step our left foot to meet our right at the top of the mat. I always wobble when I do that. I'm lucky I have a wall next to me. Let's come on to the opposite side. Let's bring the weight into that left foot and reach the right knee up. As we breathe out, we step the right foot back into our warrior one, opening out the arms. From warrior one, we turn on the feet, coming into a warrior two, strong postures, drawing that belly in, softening the shoulders here. As we exhale, we bring the arms back into our reverse warrior. And then as we exhale, we make it back through warrior two, turning on that back foot, sending the hips to face forward. And again, if you have the control, we can step our right foot to meet our left at the top of the mat. We're going to add on to that little sequence now. So bringing that weight back into the right foot as we lift the left knee, hands to heart. Step left foot back behind us into our warrior one. Inhale, open out the arms. As we exhale, we turn and we find our warrior two. Taking it back into our reverse warrior, moving with our breath, allowing one breath to move the body. Drawing it back into warrior two as we straighten that front leg now. Just heel toeing the back foot in a little bit,
Length through the sides of the body as we reach it forward, and as we exhale, taking it over into triangle. I always like to take my top arm behind me here. Opens out the chest a little bit. You find some more space across the front of the body. Now we can turn our gaze towards that right foot, or if the neck's feeling a little sore, keep the gaze forward. Bring a bend into that right knee as we push ourselves up. So we turn on that back foot, bring the hands back to the heart, and step left foot to meet right at the top of the mat. Take a breath in our mountain pose, maybe even closing the eyes to find your foundations under your feet. Bring the weight into your left foot as we lift our right knee. Step that foot back as we find our warrior one. Find your foundations first before we open out the arms in warrior one. As we exhale, so we turn into our warrior two. From here, reversing the warrior, so just flowing with the breath. Let the breath flow smoothly. Inhale, coming back through warrior as we straighten our front leg, maybe heel toeing the back foot in, finding triangle on this side. You might not be in the same position on this side as you were on the other. Taking the top arm behind you if you wish. Keeping the gaze to the floor if the neck is feeling uncomfortable today. As we bend into that left knee, so we turn on that back foot to face the front and just step our right foot to meet our left at the top of the mat. Once more, finding our foundations in our mountain pose as we release the hands alongside the legs. Taking these pauses in between the sequence just to check in with yourself, check in with how you are feeling, how the back is feeling, how the body is moving, and then making any adjustments that you need to from this point. We're going to bring the hands back to the heart now. Just taking a little step back on my mat as we work our way down towards the floor. Now, if your back is okay, we're going to roll it down vertebrae by vertebrae towards the earth. Again, you can use your hands on your legs as a little bit of a support if you need to. When we locate the floor underneath us, we're going to bend those knees and step 1 foot, 2 feet back into a full plank position. If this is too much at any point, please do drop down to the knees. But if we can, see if we can hold this for a count of 5, 4, keep breathing, 3, 2, and 1. We are going to lower ourselves all the way down to our tummies now, so you can drop to the knees first if you wish, as we lower as smoothly as we can down onto our mat. Just bringing our forearms in front of us and using our arms as a little bit of a pillow here just to rest the head. Okay, so we are going to come into a position called locust, which is a great posture for strengthening both the front of the body and the back of the body here. So make yourself as comfortable as you can on your mat. Just let your heels fall out to the side and then rest either your chin or your forehead, very much glasses dependent, on your mat. I may even have to take mine off for this one actually. They just do get in the way sometimes. Reaching your hands, your arms behind you, extending through your fingertips, have your palms facing up. Pull your belly button in as though you have a little blueberry underneath your belly button that you do not want to squash. And as you inhale, you reach your arms up and back and just lift your chest and your shoulders and your head off the mat. So you don't come too far. You're not trying to look forward and bring strain into your neck. You're keeping a long line from your neck all the way down your spine, pulling that belly button in. There should be absolutely no pain in this posture. And then very slowly lowering yourself back down, maybe even making that pillow once more. Let's do that once more, releasing the arms behind, palms facing up, fingertips reaching to the floor or to your dog if you have a dog handy. And then as you inhale, lifting up,
reaching behind you, keeping the gaze towards the earth. And then very slowly lowering it all the way back down towards the mat. Take a moment here and then bringing your hands underneath your shoulders. With control and with care, push yourself back up onto all fours, returning your knees underneath your hips, your wrists underneath your shoulders. Keep that gaze towards the earth, and then as you inhale, just tilt the tailbone, possibly drawing your gaze forward, and as you exhale, tucking that tailbone back under, rounding through your spine. Inhale and exhale. One more time, leading with the very base of the spine as you draw it up and through, and as you exhale, rounding that back. To finish our class today, we're going to come into a seated position. So just roll yourselves into any kind of posture that works for you. You might want to sit on a cushion or a bolster or some blocks, whatever feels good. Inhale, we're going to reach the arms up. And as we exhale, we're going to take our right hand over onto our left knee and our left hand just to the side. Drop the shoulders, root the sit bones down and sit tall. And as we exhale, visualize the muscles around the spine, both front and back, drawing you over to the side here. So we're not using the hands to put strain on the body. We're using our internal muscles to guide us around towards the left-hand side. As we take our next in-breath, so we come to face the front and lift the arms up, and as we exhale, just dropping that left hand onto the right knee, drop the shoulders, and again, you can feel the muscles. If you pay attention, you can really focus on your muscles drawing yourself around, moving in a more mindful way rather than allowing your arms just to yank the body into a position that it really does not want to go into. Inhale, let's come back to face the front, touch our palms together and draw our hands down towards our heart. That was a short practice, just showing you that even if your back isn't moving how you would like it to, there are still things that you can do to keep mobility in your body. And by strengthening our core and feeling strong in our mind, it really does help us move a little easier in our day-to-day lives. Thank you very much for joining me on the mat today, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon.